I love a good inky, messy background, but sometimes there are products that just scream clean and simple to me. So, in today's video, I am going to share with you 6 clean and simple, for the most part, cards that I created using the new release from Hero Arts. Now, if you're looking to get any of these products, you do need to subscribe to either the individual subscription or you can sign up for the whole studio. You'll be able to purchase these products if there's any left via a la carte the following month. And if you are making a purchase, I do highly encourage patience as Hero Arts has been purchased by Spellbinders. So all of their shipping does take place through Spellbinders warehouse right now, and they are going through a transition. So I do highly emphasize patience because once you do get your products, you are going to fall in love with them. So, first, I want to walk you through a lot of the products that I'm going to be using today. There are some that I still have ideas for, but I could only fit so much into the video. So, the first thing I want to look at here is the card kit for December 2024. You get this large 6x8 stamp set with this beautiful images and coordinating dies. I love that they included a die set for all of the sentiments. That is just one of the biggest things that I love seeing in the industry right now because if I want to pop something up, I now have that option. Also in the kit, you get this circle die, so you could do some ink blending behind it or die cut inlay technique. And also included in the kit is a watercolor palette. There's also some reactive, what is it? The reactive re-inkers. Now I'm only showing 4, but I believe there are actually 5. So you could do some watercoloring if you really want to create some vibrant colors. Next, we have the clear stamp and die. So you could subscribe to this individually. It's called Floral Butterfly. Such a beautiful image. Once again, it has coordinating dies for the image and also the sentiments. And I really fell in love with the sentiments this month. There is also the fancy die of the month. This is rainbow and clouds. It does have that large kind of cover plate die and then also the individual rainbow and cloud. This is the layering stencil of the month called Butterflies. And surprisingly, I did not get a chance to create with this, although I absolutely love it. So it is a 4-piece layering stencil, except the layering kind of works a little differently than you might think. Hero Arts does provide an inspiration guide on the back. Now, there are the 4 stencils, as I mentioned, actually, 3 of them kind of have that butterfly frame. And then one of them is actually a mask. So the first stencil kind of creates the open areas of the butterfly. You can take that mask, place it in there. It can give you the details for the wings, or use these other 2 stencils to add just different shapes and kind of a whimsical look to the inside of the wings. Very, very pretty. Then we have the Cling of the Month. This one also kind of has this rainbow and like whimsical clouds. It's really pretty. It's in red rubber, of course, so it stamps absolutely wonderful. And then we have some additional products being released. So there's the Floral Rainbow and Clouds. Wonderful. Look at this. It's like a rainbow and a cloud with flowers around it. So unique and beautiful. Again, some beautiful sentiments and coordinating dies. There's also the fancy die. This is varying butterfly wings. I hadn't gotten a chance to use this, but it looks like it's going to be, again, beautiful. I don't know what other word to use except beautiful because I really did love everything in this release this month. And then next we have the box of Crayons Fancy Die. I thought this was super unique. It's got some beautiful, again, beautiful, sorry, detail on the box. I am saving that die to make some cards for teachers. And then we have the Sky Ombrés Hero Transfers. Excited to play with these, just ran out of time. I'm going to try and refrain from using the word beautiful again in this video, but I did go ahead. I stamped out a bunch of images that I wanted to color up. And I am going to be doing a bunch of very simple coloring. So I am using a mix of alcohol markers. I'm probably going to put some music on here in a little bit, but I am going to talk about the coloring that I did. So I am using Dove White cardstock from Hero Arts, and I stamped it in Intens-ified Black Ink. These happen to be some artist markers from Altenew, but you will see me use some Olo markers and some Copic markers, just depending on the shade that I was going for. With the Altenew artist markers, They have them in collections, and there were just a couple collections that the colors really I was really drawn to them. Now, as far as the coloring goes, I'm starting here with this large butterfly, and I'm adding just one shade to the leaves. I thought it would be easiest to start with the leaves, just putting down one shade. What I'll do for kind of my simple coloring hack is I will come in with a darker shade of marker, and I'm only going to add a line to one side of the leaves and maybe a couple flicks, just enough to give it a little bit of contrast. Just finishing up here on the leaves, I do the rest of it kind of off screen. I did kind of cut out parts of the video here to help speed up the process a little bit. This is where I'm coming in with the darker shade of marker. I apologize. I did not write everything down. I was just kind of in the moment when I was coloring, and I typically put things away right away. So I didn't write everything down. I will try to remember which marker set I used, but really all you need is one shade of green and then find something that's just a little bit darker. If you need to test it on scratch paper, like you kind of see that I did up top there, you could do that. It's just enough to give it that contrast and dimension. So I am probably going to set some music up here and finish off the coloring. I did on this particular butterfly stick to, for the most part, one artist collection. I think I brought in a shade of blue that was from a different one, but I really loved this particular color combination. So I hope you enjoy the coloring, and I'll see you in just a bit. Now I have everything colored in, and I'm going to use the coordinating dies to die cut all of the images and the sentiments out. And then I do have a background that I want to share with you and what I did to that one. This is the Rainbow and Clouds Fancy Die for December 2024. I die cut it out of white cardstock and then did a little bit of light ink blending. I started in the center with a blending brush and a light blue ink and just lightly added some of that blue color around the inner edge. Now, I thought it would be really fun to color in some of these rainbow areas, but one thing I learned with the coloring in some of these is I wanted to go more pastel. I guess I wasn't in the mood for super bright, bold colors when I was creating these. You can see I was in a very clean and simple mode, very simplistic mode. So I kind of wanted to keep with that theme. So I just colored in all of those rainbows. You can see here I am bringing in my Copic markers. And then I did also take a BG11 and kind of highlighted the clouds that are on there and even colored in the little moon that's around the frame. So most of these cards I am going to put together off screen and I'll walk through them with you in just a moment. But this was the groupings that I came up with. Once I had everything die cut out, I did the rainbow kind of off screen there, that flower one, because I didn't like my original one with color. So I thought it would be fun to leave the actual rainbow white and add the color to the flowers. So I just wanted to show you those. And as I was showing you these, I was thinking about my clouds background. Instead of just adding this to a plain white cardstock front, I decided to add a little bit of ink blending. So I do have some Hero Arts colors that I will list here on screen for you. I just went through a very, very pastel looking rainbow for the background to show behind my window and some of the die cut areas on that frame piece. So just going through, it's like a pink, a yellow to mix in with the pink to make orange, the green. I'm going in very haphazardly. I am not being real careful about my blending. I just wanted that little hint of color in the background. Again, trying to keep with more of that pastel look. Now, once I had that done, I lined the entire back of this die cut panel with some liquid glue, and then I'm going to place it on the front of that blended panel. And you can see where all of those light colors are showing through some of the star die cut areas on that card front, and then that little bit of color that is popping through the frame. Then I will just take one of the sentiments I had picked out. I lined it with foam squares and added it to the center, but I'm not done with this card yet. I'm going to come back to it one more time. Now, here is a look at the cards that I did complete. Again, very clean and simple. I think the images and the sentiments really just speak for themselves, where I just added a little couple images and the sentiment, although this is very heavy rainbow themed. And it's funny how it was really into the rainbow stuff. And I just didn't do a lot of rainbows, maybe on the balloons. But a lot of times I kept it very simple, very kind of monochromatic or along the same color scheme. So isn't that crazy how that happens sometimes? All of the images and sentiments are popped up and added to, or popped up with foam squares and added to side folding card fronts. And then my last finishing touch on this card is taking some stickles and adding those to the rainbow areas that I colored. I had to add some sparkles somewhere in all of these cards. I still have more ideas using the rest of the release that I'm hoping to get to. But if you didn't catch my video from last month, be sure to check that out. I will link that here. That again had some fantastic ideas. Even if you don't have the products, I'm thinking that there's something you can take away from the video. All of the supplies I'm using today will be linked down below in the video description and over on my blog. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. If you found inspiration in this video, I would appreciate it if you gave me a thumbs up. I would love to have a comment from you left down below. And if you enjoy my channel, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and you'll be notified when new videos are posted. Thanks again. See you soon.